So Marlow finally responded. After months of allegations piling up, cheating, theft, fake identity, she dropped what is arguably the longest response video in Minecraft PvP history.
Everyone, I just wanted to start at this video.
What I want to do across this series is go through the video section by section, break down what she actually said, what holds up, and what raises more questions than it answers. Let's start with episode 1, the stuff she actually admitted to. The first confession is the AI voice.
First of all, it's true that I've been using an AI voice for the last few years.
For years, Marlow has spoken through what her community believed was just her natural voice. And for years, when people questioned it, she denied it was artificial.
This is something I've lied about so extensively that I can't really blame people for a lot of the doubts they might have had regarding the type of person I am.
She has been using an AI voice, and she explains why.
I want to explain why exactly I use an AI voice, and why I wasn't ever upfront about it. For some background, my family, especially my mom, was always extremely overprotective of me, to the point where I wasn't really supposed to be using social media.
Her family, particularly her mom, was extremely protective. She wasn't really supposed to be on social media at all. So, from a young age, she got into the habit of altering how she spoke online whenever she was being recorded. And crucially, she trained it on recordings of her own altered voice.
For this reason, I eventually decided how to learn how to train AI voice models, so I trained one off of a dataset of my already altered way of speaking.
Not someone else's voice, her own. That's the justification she gives for why she felt okay lying about it for so long. Now here's where it gets interesting. A lot of community members had vouched over the years that they'd done calls with her back before realistic AI voice changers even existed. She addresses that too.
Before realistic AI voice changers were a thing.
The second confession is bigger, and this one directly feeds into the cheating allegations. Almost every montage on her channel is staged.
A lot of people use this as evidence that I use macros
Now
and aim
before you
assist.
take that out of context, and people absolutely will, let me explain what she means by staged, because it doesn't mean what you might think. She's not saying she fabricated wins against players she never actually beat. She says she genuinely did beat all of the players shown in her montages. What's staged is the specific manner in which those clips were captured.
The truth is, almost every montage on my channel is heavily staged. And by that, I mean the majority of clips are scenarios that I replay a few times to create more variety in the montage. In 2 of my vanilla montages, I play a lot of the scenarios.
Most clips are scenarios she replayed multiple times to get a more visually interesting version for the video. And in 2 of her vanilla montages specifically, she was playing at a lower tick speed using a custom mod. That lower tick rate is what makes her aim tracking look unnaturally smooth and her timings look impossibly consistent. Because at lower TPS, movements and inputs behave differently.
In my 2-year vanilla PvP montage, I used a custom mod to play in a lower tick rate, since at the time, Minecraft didn't have a command for it.
The hotbar skipping allegations get their own section, and this is actually one of the more interesting technical moments in the video.
Something I should be clear about, though, is that when defending myself regarding the hotbar allegations, previously I actually believed that it was a performance
People
mod.
pointed out that in her montages, the hotbar would visibly skip in ways that looked like macro use. Her original defense when this came up was that it was caused by a performance mod she was using. But here's the twist. A player named Reef1, who was one of the original people making the hotbar allegations, apparently later admitted on stream that there might actually be a debunk for that specific piece of evidence.
The description of my video, I think there actually is a debunk for that, so I don't think it's even shown anymore.
And it turns out
hotbar skips can occur on a completely vanilla client, even without performance mods. Although performance mods can increase the rate at which they happen.
She uses this as a point to show that when she was defending herself, her reasoning wasn't totally unreasonable, even if it was technically incorrect.
At least somewhat reasonable. And now we know it can happen on vanilla. It wasn't proof of hacking.
Now this section is a direct address to DrDonut, who had made some claims on stream about Marlow's motivations. Specifically, DrDonut suggested that to convince It's Real Me to stop streaming during his Tier 2 attempts, and that this was part of some broader plan to eliminate competition and secure the #1 spot for herself.
Now, everything that Marlow did, like, it was obviously, the Marlow persona was very nice to people and was very helpful, and she helped the community a lot, actually. But was all of that because he wanted to help the community, or was it because he just wanted power? I don't know. I don't know if we're ever gonna know.
Marlow's response to this is actually pretty measured.
I feel like when you view someone through a negative lens, it becomes very easy to come up with negative explanations for why certain things were said or done. But a lot of the things that you said here just weren't my intention at all. For example, when you mentioned that I advised you to stop streaming, this was in reference to your vanilla Tier 2 attempts, because you've been trying for years to get Tier 2, and I sincerely wanted you to achieve that goal.
She
which is
doesn't go
why I
scorched
helped you
earth on
and gave you
Dr.
advice
Donut.
a lot of the time.
She says that when you view someone through a negative lens, it becomes very easy to construct negative explanations for neutral or even positive actions. On the streaming advice specifically, she says she recommended It's Real Me not stream his Tier 2 test because she genuinely believed that trying to entertain an audience while competing would hurt his performance. She wanted him to
The reason
succeed.
why I recommended you not to stream your Tier 2 test is because I believe a big part of streaming is entertaining your audience, and I knew that your interest in doing that would detract from your competitive performance. And I think you could genuinely do it if you approached it with the right mindset and focus.
That's
It's
it.
also much
On the
harder to
number
learn
one
and
goal,
take in
she makes a
information
point that I
lot
think a
more
lot
than
of people will
is finding
find either
pointless streaming.
convincing or convenient depending on where they
Another thing I wanted
stand.
to address
She says she
is the
never
claim that
wanted
I
to be
tried
number
get
one
It's Real Me
overall.
to quit
Her goal was
PvP.
Tier 1 in every
This
game mode
claim is
individually.
seemingly out of
She
nowhere
specifically says
because
she
I've
would have
never
preferred
wanted
if It's
It's
Real
Real
Me
Me to
hadn't
quit.
quit, because
I've
then
never
she wouldn't
even
be
wanted
sitting
to
at
get
number
number
1
one.
dealing with
My
all the
goal to get
negativity
Tier
that comes
1
with it.
was in
Whether you
everything,
believe that
every
framing
game
is up
mode,
to you,
and I'd actually
but she
prefer
does
if it
note that her
wasn't
messages
number one
about her
overall,
goals
because I
exist and
hate
can be
the negativity
verified.
that comes from it. If you were to look through my messages speaking about my goals and my messages to people like It's Real Me, you'd understand that it was genuinely never my goal to be number one, and it still isn't. I was going up against myself with my own goal, and I just happened to get number one because no one else had achieved that goal yet. I wish It's Real Me had never quit, and I wish he would have kept going further so that I didn't have to be number one.
That's
Account sharing.
episode 1.
We said a lot of
In
threatening
episode
things
2, we're
regarding
getting
me
into
as well,
Aximity.
as stuff like leaking
Subscribe so
information
you
about
don't
where
miss
I
it.
lived.
Drop your
I'm
thoughts
not saying
below.
that in the sense
Do
that
the
we have a
admissions
poor
change how
relationship
you see the
anymore,
cheating
but what I'm
allegations,
trying to
or does
say is that
lying
if you're
about the
looking at
voice
things
make
from an
everything else
objective point
harder
of
to
view,
believe?